Yeah, tip your cap to OU tonight. I thought they played a great game, and their starter was he did a really nice job, and they played clean baseball for the most part and took advantage of some mistakes we made. But proud of how the guys competed. I thought our preparation was awesome. I thought the way we stayed in it throughout the game was great. There was belief till the very end that we were going to come back. So tough to go undefeated in the postseason. We were probably, as much as I hate to admit it, probably at some point going to have to persevere through a loss. So here's our opportunity, and couldn't be more confident in my team and how these guys compete and how they prepare and how they'll be ready to go tomorrow.
Questions for student athletes? Raise your hand, please. Go.
AJ Neergaard, University of Daily Kansas. And Jordan, how is it like to have those fans behind you and right today?
Yeah, that was a cool new addition to Hoagland here. I've always said I think we got the best fans in the country. We love playing for those guys and girls, but it's cool to have them back there a little bit closer. Yeah.
Neil Jones, KCTV5 in Kansas City. Jordan, for you. Look, I know you guys are not happy, but you had your mom and dad in the stands. They came from a long way away. I talked to them yesterday. They're so excited. Can you talk about having them here and having a chance to do something for them?
Yeah, that was, if there was a bright spot in today, that was pretty cool. I love my mom and dad. I wouldn't be here without them. So to do something like that in front of them was pretty cool. And I can't say thank you enough times to those two. Really, best parents anyone could ever ask for.
Jordan, Matt Tate, R1S1 Sports. Fitz just alluded to their starter tonight. How tough was it at the plate? Your whole lineup had trouble all night. What was working for him and not working for you guys?
Yeah, sometimes you just got to tip your cap. He was really good tonight. He had good stuff. He was commanding multiple pitches in the zone, so he just kept us off balance. But I'll focus us on tomorrow. We're going to come back ready tomorrow.
When that happens, you guys, you've been down to your last out and still believe like you were tonight. When that happens, somebody's on top of you like that, do you have a feeling that, hey, it's going to break through any minute? It obviously happened last week against Arkansas with Osoria doing that. Does that grow as the game goes on, or does that get harder to find?
We have belief in each other until the final out. This is a really special group of guys. This is the favorite group I've ever been a part of. We always believe until the final out's recorded that we're going to come back. So, just focusing on tomorrow. We're gonna come back and get them tomorrow.
Any other questions for the student athletes?
Manning, what was your thought coming in for Dom after an uncharacteristically rough outing for him?
The only thing going through my head was put up some zeros so the offense can get going and get back into it, and that was my only goal. Just go out there and compete and let the offense do their thing.
I didn't see the exchange or anything. Were you able to say anything to Dom before he came off, or was he off the field before you got out there?
He was off the field before
Okay.
I got out there.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, you two guys are dismissed. Thank you so much.
Job, guys.
Thank you very much. Questions for Coach? Todd?
Hey, Coach. Todd Lebo, Sports Radio 810. It looked like the Sooners' approach was pretty patient. Was that something you expected out of them, and how did that pay off for them, I guess?
Yeah, there wasn't anything that they did that was really surprising. We've studied their lineup up and down for days, and it's a really well coached offense. It's a really well coached team, but particularly, their batters, they're disciplined and they stick to their role and they play team offense. So no, there wasn't anything surprising about that. Just weren't able to put them away like we have been earlier.
Fitz, what do you make of your team at the plate tonight and just overall approach?
Well, Rager was outstanding, and we just couldn't get into a groove offensively. His fastball played up. He's got massive extension. You look inside the metrics of it, and he's an outlier in terms of his extension. He's a big kid to begin with, and then you throw in some outlier qualities, and it becomes tough. But he did a nice job mixing. Skip's a great pitch caller, and did a nice job of mixing, and at the end of the day, he executed, and we just couldn't get into a rhythm. We had a hard time getting the leadoff guy on, and it's tough to produce a lot of offense. And then when you're chasing it, the 4-0, and now you're chasing runs and getting that leadoff guys on is important, and we just weren't able to get into a groove.
You haven't seen many, if any, nights like that for Dom. What'd you see from him, and what'd you see or talk to him about when you did take him out?
Yeah, probably, his stuff was good. Probably would like to have a couple pitches back that they took advantage of. And we had a couple opportunities to get off the field behind him defensively, and a double play ball that maybe gets us out of that inning that we don't execute on, which again, that's baseball. You look at some mistakes that are made during a game, and that the effort, the intensity, the preparation, all that stuff is A++, and sometimes the game's just tough to play, and it was for us tonight. But I think Dom, liked to have a couple back, but at the end of the day, I think they strung it together and got the hit when we didn't.
Coach Neil Jones from KCTV5. What did you tell your team? And then can you talk about the fact that is it easier to lose a game 8-1 than 2-1 where a mistake killed you?
I'm gonna have to think about that one. Losing is losing, and I think it's always tough. The message is pretty simple. We're in a super regional, and it's a best of 3 series, and we talk on a daily basis about having to persevere and deal with things, and you just run straight to the fire, and that's what we need to do tomorrow, and it's pretty clear now. It's just win or go home. So, but nothing will change in terms of how we prepare. We couldn't have a better guy on the mound than Cookie. We've got a full bullpen, and I like we didn't score any runs, but if you look at inside the approach, I thought we did a really nice job in some really key areas. So I just told the guys, hey, you got from here to the foul line to flush it, and be ready to go tomorrow.
Coach Joseph Myers from the Lawrence Journal-World. How much, I know that, both teams are having to make plays, both teams are having to deal with it, but the field had to be especially slick today with all the rain that fell before the game, and it's an all-turf field, so the ball's going to be slick anyway with the hard hits and everything on that all-turf field, but how much more slick and how tougher was it on the players, especially the infielders, to make plays on the ground balls today?
I don't think that was a factor. Certainly wasn't for us. They play on turf as well. I thought during pregame when we took ground balls, the ball skipped a little bit, but I didn't think it was a factor in the game.